Yellow just walking in the house in my road, gotta make her put it on. She don't like wearing clothes, just left Concord, North Carolina. I was licking on booty in a whole lot of vagina. Eat a boozer with some ice cream, she'll remember you. Ice Cube make it chip, shiver like the winter do.
See me with the crew, I done get some food. I see you looking like you do. Had to make a move, make a move.
What's up, y'all? It's Nate Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skin Ambassador. With some real words I'm about to say to y'all, you know what I'm saying? This is one of my more serious Rikers Island stories. Listen, it don't matter who you think you are. It don't matter who you thought you was. It don't matter where you from, what hood you from. It don't matter what gang you are, blood, crip, whatever. There's a certain thing called being real. There's a certain thing called being realistic. And what's realistic is letting you know that there's nobody who goes to jail or prison and does not cry to themselves at some point. A lot of the most hardened criminals, the most gangster dudes, right? They cry themselves to sleep. They do. You know, especially if you really a gangster. There's a mental stress that comes with being a gangster in jail. There's a pressure that comes with being a gangster in jail. We go through a lot, you know. I got a video where I spoke about I got jumped this one particular time and they got me in a holding cell before they switched me to a new cell house. And I remember just being there, sitting there in the dark, handcuffed, with my head against the wall, bawling, crying like a baby, you know. Not necessarily because I was scared, even though we're gonna get into the fear aspect of it, but because I was tired of being in jail. It was that point where I realized that I really regretted what I had done because it cost me everything, you know? When I went to jail, I was 17 years old, getting fly every day, just starting to have sex on a regular basis, in the middle of a bet with my friend and two of my other homies, seeing who could smash the most girls by the end of the year, and we was winning. You know, I was getting a nice little Social Security check from my father who passed. I was getting that every month. I was partying. And I was also in the streets doing bad things and having fun and not appreciating the things that I had, you know. From then to going to jail, losing every woman who was in my life, right? Getting punched in the face, random times, having to punch people in the face, having to get jumped, get my weight up in one house, right? One crib, then something happening, and then I'm still new to the Rikers Island, so now I gotta go do the same thing all over again several times. Having to hurt people just to look good, who I ain't necessarily even want to hurt because they seem to be cool people. You know, seeing people my age go in their cell and hang themselves because they realizing that the girl who they love got pregnant by their best friend and leaving him for him. That pain, like this. There's pain that comes with being locked up, you know? And I'm somebody who, at the max, I was looking at 3 to 7 at the max. So imagine if, like, you gotta understand, I was in Rikers Island with a bunch of 16, 17, and 18-year-olds, right? I remember there was this dude who, he caught a murder charge, was off for like 25, went to trial, blue trial. They gave him 40 to life. 40 to life. He blew trial, got remanded. You know what they did? You know what he did? He couldn't even hold it in, man. They remanded him, sent him back to that cell. It ain't matter how gangster he was, who was there with him, how bad it might look. He starts sobbing right then and there, bro. You will cry at some point, man. I don't care how gangster you think you are, you're not that gangster. I don't care how tough you think you are, man. You're not that tough, bro. We talking about real, being real, like, we talking about being realistic. We talking about keeping it a band, keeping it a Hondo, keeping it a Banshee, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is depressing. It's depressing, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you gotta be in the box. You gotta be in the box, and the only way out is to try to commit suicide, try to hang it up, as they say. Try to hang yourself. You know, there's a lot of people who want to die, don't want to live, but they not gangster enough to take their own life, you know? Killing yourself is selfish for your family, but that's some gangster shit, yo. To say, I don't want to be here no more. I'm going to kill myself. I can't take jail no more. A lot of us suffer in silence. A lot of people cry because they don't have family to back them up. They don't have visits. They don't get visits, you know what I'm saying? They don't get people to come and see them or send them letters telling them to stay strong, you know, like you will really cry. You will really find yourself weeping, you know what I'm saying? And as men, we know the last thing we ever want to do is cry. I'm a man who, it's only 3 situations where I may cry, where I may shed a tear. That's one, the most obvious one. Somebody who you love dies. You know, and I find myself purging myself of tears and crying days at a time after somebody I love died. You know what I'm saying? Like, when my man Snacks died, I cried at least once or twice just thinking about it for like 4 days straight, you know, like, but that's one situation. The other situation, anything that happened with my kids. Like, when they tell me they miss me, especially my oldest son, they tell me they miss me and they wish I could be with them right now, and they seem like they really don't understand why, and they really upset about it, you know, like that fucks me up. I start getting choked up and all that, you know, like. And then the last situation I found myself crying over recent years is when I want to kill somebody. And this may be fucked up to say, but as a man, especially from the streets, we all know there comes a time in our life where our hand may be forced. Where somebody really violates and you feel like you want to do something about it. Now, I found myself not crying, bawling, but thinking about how angry I am and what I want to do to somebody. And I found myself tearing, not because necessarily I want to kill them, but because I want to kill them or hurt them very bad. But I know I'm not going to do it because I know I'm not going to get away with it. And I know that I'd rather not put my freedom on the line and have to talk to my sons through a plexiglass while they're growing up. Because I cannot give them advice on life from a plexiglass. I have to be there. And the anger from knowing that you have to choose to do the right thing instead of living off your impulses and your emotions, that could drive a man crazy enough to cry. But like I said, no matter how gangster you are, you will cry in jail. It will happen to you. It will hit you, even if you acting like you're a gangster to the rest of your world, it's a lot of y'all watching this who've been locked up before, right? Nobody was looking. You was at that visit with your mama, your grandmama, your auntie. Nobody was looking. You was on the phone with your mama, your grandmama, your auntie, your sister. You was crying. You was crying. And you was saying, please get me out of here. I'm scared, right? This is the type of things you go through. This is why I say jail is not good for anybody's health, man. Like, shit, come subscribe. Peace.